yet. That was the story of the game until it was over. They're just never ready yet. Their heroes need more items, they need more time, and OG are just running at them, taking all their towers, taking Roshan, cornering the map after 15 minutes. I think Miracle started getting killed at his own triangle, like 10 minutes in by Grimstroke Wolf combination and an Earth Spirit. It's just super tough, and it's the OG you love to see, right? Like, it's super aggressive. It's all the things that have won them key games. Just again, the big surprise really is that 8th pick Lycan, who really enabled them that extra little bit to make it maybe easier than it should have been.
But it wasn't, because it wasn't just the Lycan, right? I mean, sure, Lycan helped, but that speed, that tempo that OG played at, like, how do you slow that down? Was that's not just draft related, it feels.
It's yeah, go ahead, Perch.
It feels like this is the thing that that OG kind of does in all of their tournaments, is that they say, like, this is what we want to do, we think this is the best way to play, and they force it and they force it and they force it, and eventually they start finding magic and understanding all the nuances, and then all of a sudden it looks like, oh, what they've been doing this whole time actually makes a lot of sense. And in this case, they've been consistently drafting really, really lane focused heroes, with the exception of the game where they played like Ricky, Ursa, +1. It was like 3 melee heroes. That game looked a little greedy, but it's also reminiscent of the game's Secret that they had some kind of weird drafts. They picked like Enchantress Tree, something else. It's very, very early game focus, but they need to just do a little bit better in the laning stage, and then it looks good. But because they had been losing the lanes a little bit too much, it just kind of looked weak, and everyone says, OG's not looking so strong. But that game, it was like a perfect example of what they've been trying to do for most of the tournament, and we'll just see if they can do it again next game.
We'll see indeed, because we are into the draft powered by Betway. We can see some bans again. Lycan did, of course, get banned again. Also, interesting.
OG's turn to ban.
Against this specific team, the way OG play, they like picking, there you go, they like picking it early, and they flex it on both 2 and 4. And if you're specifically counterpicking tops and mid with a Huskar and you kill him twice and he still takes over the game, it's a bit concerning. Like, that's not just because it's tops and just because Earth Spirit. It's like the macro thing of the game, but just when you're playing a team.
OG's turn to ban.
Eventually, they'll have to ban it. By the way, heroes that made it through: Ember Spirit, Nature's Prophet, Viper, still in the pool, as well as Batrider. That was first phase banned previous game, because we had a couple change-ups. Also means that Queen of Pain is still in the pool as well.
Yeah, you said Ember too, right? I think that's the only other one. Okay, yeah.
I think he'll be first picked if he's not banned here.
Ooh, Luna getting removed in the first phase.
Ember here, right? Yeah. So what Nigma need to do in this draft now, after what happened in game 1, is that they need to find a way to match the tempo. So if OG are offering up an Ember Spirit that they can play on Miracle, they can get Miracle way more involved from his carry position. And this way they can enable mind control better by giving him a slightly greedier hero, because Miracle can make way more moves than he does on the Luna. They also put some pressure on OG here to probably force them to pick Coddle, which you don't necessarily want to do a second pick when you don't have an awesome pairing. OG don't seem to like the Void Spirit as much as, say, a team like Secret do. They're going to go for Nature's Prophet. Now I don't think they'll pick Coddle at all, actually. So Nigma will get that opening if they like it.
You're saying OG is going to grab the Coddle? Or?
I don't think they will anymore. And I think that's what Nigma were going for here, is they want Coddle Ember, but if you first pick the Ember, so imagine you first pick the Coddle, right? Then OG could pick Ember +1 and feel pretty good about themselves. They could have picked Ember Furion, but Coddle Furion just doesn't sound nearly as strong as an opener. There's counter picks to both heroes that you could transition into, so OG are likely to just give it away here, and I think Nigma will snap it up pretty much instantly for GH.
Sounds pretty reasonable. What's OG's lane winner then? Grimstroke or something? I guess beating Ember isn't easy, I suppose, but in lane.
It also depends what they like have a little, like if they want to keep it in the dark, who's playing Nature's Prophet, because they have a lot of people that can play Nature's Prophet on that squad. They go for the Shaker, another flex pick there too.
It kind of It got banned a lot in some of the previous series, but it's been forgotten a bit here. So it's a good hero for setting up some Ember kills when he makes mistakes. Yeah, you're right. There's the Coddle pick.
So if you want to look to exploit one thing that OG has here, it's the fact that when you're position 4 is a Shaker, the tempo of this game is different, right? OG will try to play fast with their Nature's Prophet, but Shaker naturally will gravitate toward hitting some lane creeps at some point. He will need a little bit of downtime to eventually get the dagger. And during that, Nigma will just ramp up the tempo of this game. I think they're going to keep picking aggression. We might see something like Dragon Knight or maybe some low cooldown hero like... Maybe they even get Avenge again and just try to run at them and fight them. A Visage for Weehaw, perhaps, just to play that tempo. And OG will try to... they will try to be able to match because they see the importance of not being overrun after that early game. So they will... The issue for OG is that they kind of have to pick first every time until the end. So every tempo pick that OG show gives Nigma information that they can then decide on, okay, how fast do we have to go? How much do we need to take towers? How do we deal with the Nature's Prophet split pushing, etc.?
It's an interesting point, especially because they often don't care that much about like lane matchup wins in terms of like the mid lane, which a normal team would value with their ultimate last pick. Perhaps it is an even bigger disadvantage for having that pick order for them.
Yeah, that's true. Thompson doesn't generally... I think OG are going to last pick Sumail's hero in most games for that reason, because they want to give him the best possible conditions. Last game they didn't. It was an insane Lycan game, so they were not worried at all. But yeah, as second pick team, OG might consider that. They obviously also have the choice of putting Sumail mid on the Nature's Prophet. They did that yesterday, and Thompson played Troll, which is banned, so they would have to go for something else. But yeah, interesting stuff here. I think... If I'm OG now, I want to make sure that I don't just get bullied, right? So I think you have to make sure you pick, maybe you decide now if Nature's Prophet is 5, but nothing else. So you could get Grimstroke. They're gonna get another strong 5 in lane. They're getting the Bane. Now Nature's Prophet is not a 5, most likely, and not a 4. You could play Shaker Core, right? But it's unlikely. Enigma need to pay a bit of attention to laning stage now, because Bane and Nature's Prophet are two extremely dominant laners in this patch. They need to be able to...
Are you expecting Bane to be the safe laner, right? So he doesn't really know what his matchups are going to be, but obviously your ability to trade hits and heal back up is excellent, not to mention your setups later in the game, but yeah, it is the first Bane pick. Like, I really like the hero myself, I just don't necessarily have huge faith in it. I guess having Earthshaker as a pairing is really nice because they could definitely both control different aspects of the fight. But it's unproven yet so far in this tournament, at least.
Bane has a really good win rate this patch, though. At least in... I don't know how good it is in competitive Dota, but in the highest brackets, Bane fares very well because of the laning stage. Oh, I love this pick, actually. I know you're picking it into Shaker. I don't think it's that big of a problem playing Chen into Shaker. You just... you need to pay that extra bit of attention to your positioning, but what Chen does offer against Shaker is, it's the logic of, okay, you have this hero that does a lot of AoE damage, you pick a hero with a lot of AoE heal, and Chen can match Bane in laning stage. That's what's important here, is that Kuro enables... it gives Nigma the option of actually competing with these lanes from OG, which they really want to do.
And it basically
I like it a lot.
It makes Nightmare semi-useless as well if you have creeps around to break the Nightmare on whatever hero is in trouble. And they pick Avenge, so now it kind of looks like OG is going for like a snowball sort of aura strat potentially. Luna's gone, so we'll see what your next best choice is, but... And the Meepo pick. Well... At least they have Earthshaker. Bane is good and bad. Prophet can be a bit weak. Venge is definitely a little weak here, but they have they have so much single target damage and control that it could be effective against the Meepo.
5 seconds
It's like they're on the verge of being able to beat it, but it's a little scary for sure. The Meepo pick is really strong.
I think, okay, so this might be a long shot, but I think what OG are thinking right now is they want to get Pangolier for Thompson and then put Sumail on a carry Furion and do an offlane Venge for mid one. You have to solve Meepo in this game, like as usual, right? It's an 8th pick Meepo. The only solution you have whatsoever is Shaker. None of the other heroes are good against Meepo, in my opinion. They don't offer very much. So the last pick has to truly deal with it very well. Elder Titan, Pangolier. Not sure what else is really... Like, you used to run Sven sometimes. He's just so bad right now. Like, you just can't pick Sven.
They changed how Cleave worked. It doesn't do pure damage anymore effectively, so it's not nearly as good.
We saw Samil on Nature's Prophet recently, and he crushed it mid. How does Nature's Prophet do mid against a Meepo?
It's probably alright, but Nature's Prophet doesn't have a nuke. And Meepo can definitely kill Prophet, prevent him from like TPing, that kind of thing, so it's kind of dangerous. Normally Prophet just wins by like having a superior right click and good animation, stuff like that, but Meepo just has so much HP and damage between the two of them that he actually breaks Prophet's formula a little bit. And once he gets mobility himself on Meepo, all he has to do is get on top and land the first net on Prophet, and Prophet's probably dead. So I would say it's not a great situation to be in as a Prophet.
Prophet can probably... I don't know. That lane just sounds basically like a draw to me. Maybe Prophet can get a slight advantage on the first few levels, but as soon as Meepo gets up Divided We Stand, he's going to free farm. Like, he's just going to poof out the wave, go jungle. Prophet can't do anything about it. And you saw how Weehaw played the last game that he had Meepo. He was against Shadow Fiend. He drew the lane, and then he out-farmed Koikva by just going jungle. Meepo is... I like to say that about the hero. It's like... Imagine the game is played only by AIs, right? Meepo is technically the most broken hero because of... Like, if you imagine you don't have the human element of having to control everything, but it just plays itself, the hero's efficiency cap is just insane, right? You can farm 3 or 4 places at once while being available for ganks. And the reason it feels balanced is that nobody can do it perfectly, right? Because it's not humanly possible. But the ceiling of the hero is just crazy. And when you have a free game, players can obviously come relatively close to the technical ceiling.
So what's the 3-position hero that facilitates properly the Meepo for having a, for sure, good game? Some Aura Builder. It feels like OG's not showing that much with their picks so far. So,
I think,
it's a little hard. Ursa or something?
Dragon Knight is decent. Maybe it's a bit too much in the way of... You're talking about Nigma, right? Or were you saying OG?
Yeah. Nigma.
Which one?
Nigma. Yes.
Yeah, okay, great. Dragon Knight is very much into the pushing basket, which they don't necessarily need because they have Chen Meepo. So I think for the most part, they just want somebody that is online and available at the ready all the time. Bonus points if it can buy an aura, like Vlad's Pipe or Mech, because Chen won't be able to buy all 3, and Ember wants to buy neither. So yeah, any aura carry here for mind control is fine. I'm not sure what they're debating outside of Dragon Knight. Maybe the Sand King is on their minds once again. They're maybe a little bit concerned about laning. But we're gonna get our answer now. Oh, Sand King's banned, yeah. Kunkka, okay. Team fighter that enables them to stay alive and has catch and can buy the auras. This will be a utility Kunkka for mind control. It's
really
pretty sure he's gonna go pipe.
And one thing that OG is really lacking right now is a lot of their heroes are vulnerable to getting ran at. Swap is still effective against that, but if Prophet gets X'd, if Bane gets X'd, if Earthshaker gets X'd, so those heroes are probably dead, and as long as Meepo's there to follow up, so... I really like the Nigma draft right now. It looks excellent. And fitting like Kunkka 3 and definitely feels valuable if the laning stage is okay for you. So I gotta say, I've been liking these 3 Kunkkas. It feels like it rounds out the draft so perfectly because the catch is so incredible.
You gotta go Pangolier.
Does sound pretty good. There's no major counters, right?
It's OG, right? You need something against Meepo. You need something for your player.
There it is.
All right.
Angle here. What?
That is another hero. That's another hero that does well against the Meepo. Firestorm is really powerful. It does a lot of damage to Meepo. He's so high health that the percentage-based damage matters a lot. I'm slightly concerned though. Mid-one's last game of this hero did not go too well, and the Kunkka boat. I don't know if Meepo dies if he's ghost shipped right now. You might have to.
I mean, this is a top conventional spirit. They don't have a conventional carry. Obviously, Sumail played excellent last time he played Prophet, and he did tons of damage and farmed well. But this is some weird shit right here from OG. Some
but
really
that's what
weird
we were
stuff.
Expecting, right? That's what we talked about before the series.
I mean, it looks to me like they're like, well, we're a little outdrafted, so we just got to push it up. We have to go even. We have to play even faster. No carries. No traditional carries.
One thing the Venge Core does offer is you get a fast level 12, so you have level 2 swap. and you can maybe put one of the meepos in such a bad position that the save doesn't reach. Like maybe you don't reach with the boat, maybe you don't reach with the Coddle ulti to protect him. And in those situations, perhaps you can isolate and kill him with Fiend Script. That might be the idea. And they're like, okay, this Venge is an integral part of how we deal with meepo, so we rate getting mid one a hero for his offlane higher than getting the Pango for Topson. They could have even put mid one on Pango. I wouldn't have been mad at that either if they kept the Venge and just put it mid, but yeah, it's going to be really interesting. I think you're underrating OG slightly here, Purge. I don't think it's that bad, but Nigma are probably my favorites to win this game as well, but not by a landslide.
I just see a core Venge, and I'm thinking about how his fights are going to go against a meepo that's at all farmed later in the game, and I just feel like he's going to be collected repeatedly.
Collected.
So
Maybe then Nigma has a chance of getting a bounty on the Topson Venge. They would need to kill him 20 times. It's fast for sure. We'll see if Nigma can do that. We'll see if Nigma first also
we're getting
can
a
force
meepo.
out
Once
a
again,
third.
Fogged. It worked for them the other day. I'll be honest, I've got to agree with Kevin here. I think it's going to work pretty.
Like just teleport around Sumail, trying to set up with kills with Soxa, like triple onto this meepo and just try to kill him over and over again. But I've seen Topson when he's played this Venge, he doesn't skill stun. He goes like 0-4-4.
Oh, okay.
And he did that, I believe, at TI a couple times too. Maybe he'll get like a point or something of it here or there because he has an Earthshaker to rotate. But yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see how they're gonna do it because it does look like a pretty. It looks like a very confident Nigma draft. Like they have the Ember Coddle, they have their Chen Meepo, and then they have a Kunkka to boot on top of it to add even more aggression and more defenses for that Meepo. So yeah, we'll see how we'll see how they can try to dismantle because it just looks, it looks strange from them. But that's typical OG looking like a strange lineup.
I mean, true, because I imagine the majority of people are watching being like, what the hell is OG going to do with this lineup? And then, well, OG's going to get the chance to show us. We'll see what they are able to do with this draft against what seems to be a very solid meepo lineup from Nigma.
Yeah, we were all hoping for the ET or the Pango, of course, you know, but unfortunately that ET gets banned, and they opted to not go for the Pango. I was on board with Sind again, honestly. I was like, I'm pretty sure they're going to pick that one because that just looks like the strongest Topson style that he likes to play, but yeah, just a different approach. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to really be all eyes on this Topson Vengeful Spirit. I don't know how this hero can beat a meepo, just at sort of any stage of the game. What is the strength? I mean, I guess you can at least save yourself. You know, if you're getting gone on and surrounded by the meepo, you swap one of your poor teammates in and say, good luck, buddy. And you get to walk away. But it's... Well, we'll see. As I said, OG has surprised us before in ways that we could never have believed to occur. Maybe they'll do it here. Yeah, maybe. I mean, they did look super hot in game one. Obviously, things were very different with regards to the draft, but their play was very clean in game one. Yep. I'm just curious. I'm really curious to see what their actual like strategy is for this one, like what the idea of it is, because it just looks real difficult once that meepo if meepo gets online. Like they just like Earthshaker and Underlord, fantastic, but Venge does not contribute a whole lot of anything unless maybe like you swap the meepo into a bad position, I guess. But but then you swap one meepo like, in, and then the rest of the meepos come poofing in, and they're like, "Thank you for the free initiation." Exactly. I just feel like it's gonna be tough. Courier top. Oh, Saxa, he's got it. There we go. Courier to start things off for OG. I love that Earthshaker taunt as well. Rides on top of his totem. Oh, Fisher on the 2, but they don't really have any damage. Just offering up a few right clicks. Mind control and Kuro are going to be more than fine. Very strong lane. You know, Kunkka already as tanky as he is, and then with the aura and the headdress from Kuro, it's constant HP regen. Mind control is going to be kept very healthy in that top lane. Yeah, I'd be surprised if I see anybody really die up top. Maybe Kuroki if he gets trapped in some like horrible positioning here or something like that. But yeah, top should be pretty passive farm. Bottom is definitely a pretty strong lane. I like this lane actually quite a bit here for OG. Okay. Bane is the king of lanes, and then Underlord is actually super good versus this versus Ember. You have such a good base damage, such a good animation, and Ember he's pretty squishy. Only 3 armor early on. You get hit really hard mid. Well, as you try and make a go on Weehab, coming in there, blocking him off with the Fisher, but he's able to make the moves round.
As CS-wise, he's continuing to have the edge against Thompson on the first few waves.
Saksa, he's stalking this courier. Look at him. He puts the ward down. He sees it. Oh, it's beautiful. Amaterasu, goodbye.
All right.
See you later,
A couple of
nerds.
couriers in the first couple of minutes. Saksa finding a nice little bit of a cash bonus for OG
Mind
across
control.
the map. And he's pretty low. The Fisher is not going to catch him on the right side, though. So Mind Control is able to put the Fairy Fire and walk off. Saksa not quite able to find the angle for the block there.
All right, lanes though. Look at this. The lanes are at the moment for OG. They are quite solid. Mid Venge is coming out pretty even at the moment. He's doing that build that I was talking about, just having his 0-2-2 at the moment. And yeah, top their last hitting great. And I already mentioned that bottom lane. Underlord is definitely going to have a fantastic time versus a Coddle Ember.
Yeah, the CS, he's smashing it. 15-7 on mid one compared to this 5-1 on Miracle.
Yeah. And this game, I actually see, you know, that other game, he went for that Atos build, and it wasn't like he was versus a high mobility hero or anything like that. It was just an Atos. This game, the Atos is definitely awesome. Versus Ember Spirit, it's always going to be good. No tail?
I'm going to
Eating
try
some
and go.
grass. Yeah.
Anytime they step forward, mid one's got the 2 points in the Firestorm. He just lay that down and it pushes Nigma back.
And he's got his... Okay, I thought that was a Soul Ring being delivered. Not quite yet. Meepo now will start to capitalize on the fact that he's a Meepo, so he'll outfarm Thompson significantly.
Because this is going to be the thing. How do they slow down the Meepo this game? Who's going to be able to start getting in the face of Meepo before he, you know, he's going to poof back over to mids. They do have the Fisher block, but obviously he just doesn't care about the right clicks right now. He's got great early game stats, 2 Wraith Bands, that 9 armor means the Thompson just barely tickles him as a mid Venge at this stage.
Then when Nature's Prophet hits 6, catch him off guard maybe with a Wrath of Nature. That might be one of the ways that they can actually try to slow him down. He's pretty tanky, but that might be enough. We see how much damage that last bounce of the Wrath can actually do in most situations. And Sox is giving him full experience. Soxa level 1, Sumail approaching level 5. So I think that probably is the game plan, that they use that Wrath early on to just capitalize on the lane advantage. Bounties.
Who's able to get the most of them. GH is heading over, but already he's going to be there to secure that one for Nigma as it is. Quickly back to mid. And tops up. What was the item build going to be on this mid Venge?
I think he just... I remember him doing a TI. It was just like treads, and he just went a bunch of Wraith Bands. I think he went auras. I can't remember exactly what build it was, but I think he's been doing that in pub. Still top. Sumail does get brought down.
Finally, the first blood. It's a bit of a slow start, 5 minutes in, but Nigma able to eventually break the silence.
And now the rotation from Soxa. He's trying to make something happen down bottom.
See with the Fisher, he's holding on to it. Into the root on Miracle. Miracle cannot get out of there. Mid one punch is too hard.
Normally.
So moves being made on both sides of the map. And it's both offlaners getting involved in some early action. And this is, oh, I like this from mid one. Are you seeing this one? The item build you'll only ever do if there's a Meepo on your team. Pretty much, but going for the Ag straight up, Fold.
Yeah, he doesn't have the Meepo on his team either.
Oh, wait. Yeah, yeah, he doesn't.
I was like, I was trying to wonder what you're talking about.
I was trying to theorize why he would get Ags first. I was like, well, mate, it's got a Meep. Anyway, he's not. No, it's a different team.
Again, they dive top though. This time a rotation from Weeha. I think Kuroki actually teleported him up there with the Divine Favor.
All right.
They also find no tail.
So Folk, then, why the Ags? Why rush Ags?
Dire structures are fortified.
Yeah, maybe he's not going to do
make the Venge and then NT just buffer. I don't know.
It's not very value though. Or maybe it is. We'll see. I mean, it's mid one rush in the Ags.
Is under attack.
Okay.
Dire's top tower is under
Never seen before. I've never seen an Underlord do this before. First time.
Not first item. No, definitely not.
Never.
I think I've only seen a couple Ags actually like ever.
all?
I have like one vivid memory from like Katowice or something, one with like Vici playing it or something. It was like a huge game with that one, but I rarely see this item picked up. As they get the sleep on Miracle.
Into the root. See if they've got enough damage. Now he's able to step his way out before the second proc of the Pit of Malice is there. He's still got the Sleight of Fist to play around with. No Tail trying to dive for him. Not enough damage to kill him off.
Those 2 kills that they got on Sumail are actually pretty massive. He just now hit level 6. He's gonna pop the Wrath. He wants Miracle.
Oh. See what he can do. And no tail as well. Going for this area. Keep control of the warding.
Radiant's middle tower is under
That those
attack.
2 moves that they made to shut down Sumail were actually pretty significant, because that slow level 6 now coming out on that NP does reduce a bit of that aggression that OG probably wanted to have. I'm seeing Thompson actually matching the farm of Meepo, by the way, still with this build. The 0, he actually went the 1-point stun, but 0-4-3, and he's actually just going for Manta, looks like. He wants to be a right clicker. So he wants to benefit off that Aghanim's Underlord.
Yeah, it's a very interesting concept.
Dire's middle
Yeah. Now here we go. Looking towards Kuro. They find the Chen alone in the jungle and are able to hold on to this top lane, start to push it back out. Now I'm trying to. So the Aghanim's Underlord, right? It gives what? It's half the bonus. Is it half the bonus damage to your teammates?
Yes.
Now, maybe, I don't know if this works because some of the things don't. If they're in a fight and they kill the Meepo and there's, what, 4 Meepos around, is he going to temporarily get 4 times the bonus damage from a hero dying and then obviously giving half of that to his team in the fight? Or does it not work like that with Meepo? Do you only get it as counting as 1 hero dying? Because if it is more than 1, then you can maybe see the logic there. Obviously, that does require you to start the fight by killing the Meepo, which is that's not an easy thing to do. But maybe you do get multiple hero benefits from killing the Meepo. What do you think? Because I think about
100%. Actually, I'm like 90% sure it's just the 1.
Because there's some spells like Undying Decay. It will only ever give you the strength from 1 of the Meepos.
I'm pretty sure it's just. I'm like 90% sure it's just the 1.
I think unless it's. I mean, you never know. I've never seen anyone try it before, so we'll find out. But as I say, yeah. Oh yeah, give it. What are you doing? Giving it a test or?
Radiant's
Yes.
middle tower is under attack.
All right, so that's not it. That's not the reason why he's resting nice. I'm trying to find the reason.
Yeah, I was pretty sure. I was like, there's no way he just gets like plus 200 damage when they kill a Meepo, you know?
I mean,
that makes sense.
Yeah, I can guarantee you there was a patch in the past where you probably did get a benefit for every Meepo dying.
Maybe it works. Maybe it's a feature.
I mean, maybe we'll see. I mean, that would be classic OG, wouldn't it, to find something like that?
Yeah. Kuro getting ran down. Miracle also responding.
They got the magic missile onto mind control. One stepping over, but the chains holds back Thompson. Mind control is able to run away. Obviously, once this all goes down, we're 10 minutes in, 7-3, even on the net worth.
Even outpost trade, and it looks like, what was that, even bounties as well? Yeah, 2 for 2 bounties. So very even early game at the moment. Saksa now trying to find some time to build a farm. Weehaw doesn't want to let this Earthshaker get a Blink Dagger. They have to keep the aggression up to not let Saksa get this, because they do have that hero in particular versus that Meepo, which can be pretty devastating.
Yeah, off the mark, yeah, with that initial Earthbind. Saksa just gives it the straight old walk in a straight line, and Weehaw won't be able to catch him.
God, you got me scared for a second asking that question. I was like, but I was.
I mean, so where did you get that that info from? Where did you read that? Okay, all right, okay. I mean, I think you're right. There's no way, and there's no way it grants you multiple hero buffs. Well, actually, I mean, there is a way, and that's if it's been overlooked in the code. But you know, I'm sure that it's not. This is a perfect game, and anyone who says otherwise, I will hunt down. Do not criticize it. Well, we'll see. We'll see. He's halfway onto the Ags.
Yeah, this downtime is fantastic for OG. Look, Sox is loving this. He's just staying top, getting all this farm for himself. He's gonna get a Blink Dagger in decent time. And
they try and catch him before the TP's out, but he's already away. Mind control, still able to get the connection onto No-Tail. Sets up with the X-Mark into the boat combo. No-Tail will fall. So whilst this goes on, we are making as good as progress onto the E-Blade as he would hope for. He's got 2200 into the Eagle Song. It's going to be there very shortly. So far, nothing being done by OG to slow down this Meepo's early game. Weeha's getting all the space that he'd expect.
But they're getting a significant farm on their side, right? Their 3 cores are farming excellent, but Sumail
He's dead. Weehar's able to find a grab on him.
I saw him porting up there too. I was like, I wonder why he wants to actually set up on top, because you have to imagine they want to hunt Saksa, who's been up there for a long time. So that was a bit of a weird location for me to see Sumail TP on.
Mild pause here. I mean, what else do we have coming out from OG's lineup in terms of answers? I mean, after Thompson's done with the Manta, is it just going to be sort of a very sort of standard, you know, all general build of like Manta, BKB, and then into some sort of right-click item, do you think? Or is it got something else in mind?
So. You need, I would imagine he needs the BKB, right? Like,
yeah,
Mito and Ember, they're going to collapse on him. Kunkka's going to throw his boat on him. He needs to get a BKB. And then afterwards, I mean, he could go, maybe he just goes for something like straight Butterfly, like straight damage, because Meepo can't itemize to really deal with that too well. It's just, he can just hold his ground with an Underlord aura. Maybe. I'm not sure. It's interesting. Like I said, the game plan from OG, they definitely have something in mind that they want to be able to address this. And right now, it's not looking too bad. It's only like we said, only 1K lead for Nigma. And they're going to start ramping up soon.
Do you think I've got time to DC and test the Underlord thing in a demo mode? I could test it. Hey, oh, nah, they're calling G. I won't do it. We'll find out. I said we're going to find out. Mid one's going to have the Ags. He's going to have the Ags soon. It's just 1,500 off having the Aghanims. And we'll see how much this investment does do. Obviously, one thing to note, it is only the temporary damage you share, right? The permanent atrophy bonus, that doesn't get split apart. Obviously, early on, that doesn't really matter, as doesn't tend to be that high a number at all. But, you know, later on, it's kind of feels bad that doesn't get shared as well.
It's still kind of a weird one, though, right? Like, you don't really ever get to the point where it's like, I have plus 200 permanent damage. I'm sharing this to my team. So it's like, it's, you know, sometimes you have like plus 30, and it's like, what does plus 15 really change in comparison? But whatever.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, OG obviously feeling the strength on it, because I think a lot of other people would look at this game and say, all right, you want someone like farming an aura, right? Getting a pipe or a crimson against the Meepo could be very nice, but no one's going to be doing that on OG.
Yeah. Saksa, unable to get the chains on him there. He's getting close.
But the auras for Nigma, you know, they're already starting to come out. Kuro's got his mech, so already, as long as he's around, even if Saksa is able to make the jump onto the Meepos, Kuro's very likely between the mech and the Hand of God, able to offset a good amount of that damage and allow Weehard to turn and get himself back up to good health with the Ransack.
Yeah, these next few moments are going to be the big one for Nigma. If they can get a successful team fight, they can really snowball out of control here. Let's see what they try to set up for here with this mech and with this E-Blade finished. Drum also finished on the Ember too, so they're definitely going to look to start getting pretty aggressive here in the next few moments.
Down bottom, they're hunting. Weehar's going to be able to find him with the net as he runs down No-Tail, quick with the E-Blade. There's the burst, another kill for Weehar, and again, same build as we saw him do the other day. The E-Blade into the then Silver Edge, so he can continue to just hunt and find these pickoffs aggressively. Now over towards the mid they go, Nigma. Very confident in making plays with this Meepo, with Weehar farming the jungle while sticking with the team.
Look at this, Sumail. He's giving these creeps to Saksa. He's going to have the Blink Dagger finished up now, so they might actually be able to react pretty soon to this aggression coming out from Nigma. This Blink is exactly what they were waiting for to actually be able to fight.
And we'll see if he can catch Weehar off guard. I think it's to say it's going to be hard, because even if he does land it, it's not going to be that much. You know, it's sure if he gets a slam on 5, it will look pretty, but it's not going to take this Meepo from 100 to 0 when it's just a level 1 Echo Slam. And you know, Weehar's going to be playing with that in mind. He's very unlikely to be caught with the Meepos on a target and allowing the opportunity for Saksa to get that sort of jump.
Unless it's inside of a Roche Pit, where you're almost guaranteed to land a pretty good one. And these Chen creeps are kind of in the area.
Okay, he may make it in time. This could work out. Saksa's able to time it perfectly. Outside of the pit, No-Tail jumps out. Saksa, he's got in. Echo Slam is only onto Miracle. The Hand of God's out. There comes the boat. It's not the blink play that they needed, as Saksa doesn't manage to get the jump. He's dead alongside No-Tail. Sumail's going to fall as well this game. Then we can start to expect to see it go pretty roughly. They do get the Meepo. But Miracle, Kuro, and GH still alive. The chains, it's something for OG. The swap as well. Thompson trying to get Kuro back in the reach of mid-bomb, but the X-Mark holds back mid-one. So, okay, it's something. They do kill the Meepo, and that will stop Nigma from finishing off Roche. Thompson going over towards mind control with the magic missile. They're still trying to fight here, OG, with just the two of them. But Nigma, they've got the numbers. Can they kill mind control? Mind control pops the wand. He's going to be fine. Miracle jumps back out to the side. Thompson getting low, but NoTel, he's back in with the grip.
Hey, look at Thompson go.
OG, they're actually holding this round the pit somehow. He's got the Orchid done. They're going to get Miracle. All right. Never mind. OG push them out of the pit. They're going to be able to step in themselves. And they may just say this Roshan. Kuka's going to buy back. Yeah, buy back as well on Miracle. They do not want to let OG get their hands on this.
They have to commit for it.
Someone's got to go in. OG's going to get it. Roshan's down. Aegis into the hands of Sumail. OG, they've won this fight. And now Nigma, they're going to try and fight this. GH, he's already getting burst though. They've lost the Keeper of the Light. The boat comes crashing down onto Thompson, and Sumail will get them. Sumail's going to be back up for round 2 with that Aegis. And Sumail cannot TP out of this. He tries. So a little bit back and forth. OG, they're able to push Nigma out of the pit. They get the Roche, the Aegis. Nigma buy back, and Nigma will proceed to win the overall engagement. But a little bit of fire there from OG for sure.
I mean, it forced what, like 2 buybacks?
That's 2 buybacks.
Buybacks on 2 cores. You removed an Aegis from a Meepo 10 lineup. I mean, that's pretty big. And we got to see the power of Thompson just standing and holding his ground around that Underlord. He's queued up the butterfly now too, because I mean that's kind of what we expected him to do. And these 2, Aghanims is now finished. Let's see what differences is it actually able to make in these next few moments. As I mean, their net worth is pretty good, and it's just really that Meepo who's catapulting forward.
All right, yeah, let's have a look at this. One thing I will be honest, I didn't realize as well with the Aghanims, it is quite a large buff to the duration that you keep the stacks for. So you are building up a very high amount of atrophy aura.
Oh, that's a good call, actually. You learn something new about these items that never get picked up.
You never see this, you know. You never buy an Ags on Underlord, but it's up to 100 seconds. So you know you're used to seeing sort of the temporary damage that's built up within a minute, which is the normal standard duration of the max level atrophy aura. So there's an extra 40 seconds where mid-one's going to be cleaning up creeps and building that aura up.
Yeah, and there is a lot of creeps, and there's a lot of even like the Chen creeps and everything being thrown in inside fights. If mid one survives with the Venge throughout the fight, they could get real strong. Nigma, they're trying to press forward though. They actually find mid one.
Oh, mid one. He's going to turn with the pit onto Miracle. Miracle remnanting away. They do try and focus the Underlord first, as mid one's going to say, I'm getting out of here. Pops the Dark Grip. Will he get out in time? He won't. E-Blade to the face. Saxon jumps on the Echo. It does catch the 4 of them. Fisher out as well. They've killed off Miracle. Sumail in with the silence onto one of Weehar's Meepo. Thompson swaps over. They're focusing down Weehar. Are they going to be able to get him? He's getting low. He's trying to get the Meepo out of there. Thompson, one more magic missile. Wave of Terror. Thompson, they get the kill. Weehar's able to bring down 2 of them with him. But again, it's OG coming out on top of these engagements. Mind control left behind, blocked up by the Sprout. Thompson swaps back into range, into another magic missile. Mind control, he's going to go as well. OG, they are making it work here. The Thompson Venge, these constant swaps just allowing him to be in perfect position to beat down on it whichever target they need to prioritize. And they're actually doing it here, OG.
Yep, that Soxa just annihilated Miracle. He just disappears before the fight even starts. They had to commit so much to actually kill mid one because he's pretty tanky with this. He also has this dragon skill that makes him even tankier on top of it. And they had to expend so much that, yeah, OG ends up getting a perfect setup there. Even though the Hand of God and the mech was used, they had the damage to dish right through it.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
That's pretty spectacular. I mean, now Thompson, he's level 18. He already had the Manta, and we mentioned that butterfly that he wants to go for, but now Thompson in a pretty deep position.
Yeah, I don't think he's not going to be able to swap himself out of this situation. Nigma will punish Thompson for farming out and alone over by Nigma's Ancients. Now looking over to the mid. He's going to go for this. Leads him with the Remnant Chains. Mid one, no Dark Crypt available for 25 seconds. Weehar's looking for the follow-up net. Won't find the initial connection, but I don't think it will matter as the rest of the Meepos are moved in. A defensive Nightmare's tried to be offered up by NoTel, but it isn't going to save mid one as Nigma. They're not done. Another Chains onto NoTel. They'll move over and chase down a third. Double kill for Weehar. Nigma can push in. Can start looking for some of these tier 2s down bottom with the Illusion. Thompson's trying to keep at least this bottom wave shoved out against Nigma.
Well, he can push this tower with the illusion. They're even going to glyph, force a reaction out from GH. He is X to come back into the fight if they do need him. But yeah, you see OG immediately. They have 3 heroes dead. They don't want nothing to do with that. Mid lane, push top, push bottom. I mean, Thompson's continuing to farm even when he's dead.
That's the power of the core Venge. And as you say, we saw how much damage it was doing to the tower there before this butterfly is out. Once that is there, you know, with the extra stats and punch, this illusion is going to start doing a whole lot of work, even when Thompson's, you know, out cold.
He's going to be really strong when he does get this butterfly.
Yeah. I mean, already we're seeing them being able to focus down one of the Meepos and kill Weehaw in the team fights.
They're chasing forward here too now. They actually find anybody though. Not quite able. But a smoke, they want to. They see GH for a second, but they want to go for a bigger target at the moment.
They can find Weehaw has the Silver Edge complete.
They know that ward is there. They see it with the sentry. They're bypassing it. Trying to get some vision over here on the other side. No Tail, he saw them for a moment.
Now I've got another question for you, Fogged. If Weehaw breaks the Underlord, I would imagine it would remove the bonus entirely from the whole team, right, whilst he's broken. Like it should, but whether it does,
it should, but if it does, we don't know.
It's a passive.
Yeah, it should though. Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Thompson,
the high ground.
He's stepping in. They've got the setup. There's the root, holding him into the boat.
Ooh, the sleep.
Will-O-Wisp, Weehaw trying to lead in. Thompson swaps out No Tail to the side. The Will-O-Wisp continues to pull him in. Smell puts the BKB, focuses down. The Ignis Fastest will be able to take it out. Turns with the Sprout control onto Kuro. Into the Fiend's Group. They've got the control onto this Chen. Chen will go down. Mind Control is trying to come in from the side as well as Weehaw looking to take down the supports first. He's onto No Tail. Chains on the side. Miracle holds back both Saxa and Mid-1. Mid-1 throwing out the Firestorm. Weehaw getting up with as Mid-1 steps in. They'll be able to get the kill. As now, what more can they get? GH. He's being chased by Mid-1 and Saxa. Over they go. They'll get another. Again, OG, they're winning these team fights.
And Saxa echo slammed the floor, by the way, during that fight, and they were still able to successfully do so. He got hit by a blinding light, I believe, in the back lines when he was trying to blink in an echo onto the end.
Dude, I'm looking. I think he's getting the bonus from each of the Meepos, right? Look what he's got. He got 205 right now. What happened?
No.
No, wait, can't.
He would have way more damage from that.
Oh, okay.
I think. Like, it shouldn't be giving all the Meepos, so.
Oh, gee, they're getting more kills.
They're actually just chasing forward. Now Kuroki, too.
It stepped outside of the base.
That was the second time now, too. And Kuroki in the first fight, he's the majority of their sustain. And because of that Fiend's Grip, there was no Hand of God. There was no mech. They were able to just focus fire these targets. This strategy is starting to really work out for OG.
Yeah. And you know, regardless of where he's getting the damage from it is a lot of damage. Now he's walking around with 200. Boy, that's plus 120 for everyone on the team.
Yeah, this Venge and this Nature's Prophet are hitting incredibly hard. And they're picking up bigger items to make themselves even do more damage. I believe Butterfly is finished. I think that's a full AC for Sumail, too, in a sec. Oh, no, sorry, it's just the Hyperstone. I was going to say a full AC, oh my god.
I was going to say, if he had that done already.
Just the Hyperstone. But yeah, that's all they need is just some attack speed to benefit. And now they have a Vlad's as well. Oh, it's coming together.
It is. It really is. This whole strat, OG style, you know. Aghanim's first on the Underlord, and they're punching there. They're able to beat down the Meepo and the rest of Nigma's team pretty easily in these 5v5s. Over they go. They've found themselves Kuro. Let's see if they can get more. Jump over on a Miracle. They have to grab with the Fiend's Grip. That's Miracle dead and gone for 50.
Oh my god, they're really starting to take over.
That is a 4K lead. And this is a lead that's growing at an incredible rate.
And look at them pushing. Look at the damage right now on this Underlord. Thompson's hitting for almost 400 damage.
No, they're all getting plus, like, basically plus 100 damage. Plus 100 damage to the whole squad. Jump forward, Saxa. Oh, he's even poking here, trying to see if he can get a catch. They will turn on him with the X-Mark combo. Mind Control steps forward. Gonna try and have a fight here, but the Sprout's out. Silas as well, mind control. He's just dying. He's got to get saved. He would be forced out and will live for now. They do have the root control onto Saxa, giving them the vision. They'll kill him off. VR, he's being punched. Will use the E-Blade to save himself. Mid1 still trying to step forward, turns around with the pit. He's caught Meepo in it. Weehaw, he cannot run. He's trying to escape, but the silence is out, and Meepo will fall. As this game, they've done it.
They're doing it.
They are absolutely doing it. It's an 8k lead for OG.
Look at Thompson's damage versus Miracle.
Miracle's dead again. I mean, everyone's just got so much right click because of this Aghanims.
Plus 150 at the moment on him. And now Weehaw. He's dead. That's game.
I mean, it is. It's GG. It's a series over. Mid1 and his Aghanims. Never before seen, honestly, I said never ever seen an Underlord rush an Aghs, but it was the perfect answer. It just gave them so much damage. There really was. There was no other item that he could have got that would have had that much impact, without a doubt. You saw in those last fights, he's getting plus 200 easily on the old trophy. I did see as well to confirm it definitely did only give 1 bonus from the Meepo, but it didn't matter because he's still getting so much. He's getting 200. Everybody on his team is getting plus 100 damage. Like that's an insane amount of damage.